It is Kyle and Justice here. Let's get you back. We're reading the book of Hosea. Justice, do you want to read
No,
chapter 3? Okay. So we're in chapter 3, and this is saying that Israel will return to God. Then the Lord said to me, "Go again, love a woman who is loved by a lover and is committing adultery, just like the love of the Lord for the children of Israel who look to other gods and love the raisin cakes of the pagans." So I brought her for myself I bought her for myself for 15 shekels of silver and 1.5 homers of barley. And I said to her, "You shall not stay with me many days, and you shall not play the harlot, nor shall you have a man. So too will I be toward you. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or sacred pillar, without ephod or teraphim." I'm gonna have to look those up and figure out what those are, but afterward the children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God and David their king. They shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. So I'm curious, what did that mean to you? You don't know? Were you listening?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Lord said to me, "Go again, love a woman who is loved by a lover and is committing adultery, just like the love of the Lord for the children of Israel." So remember, we talked about that comparison, right? Mm-hmm. So love a woman who is loved by a lover and committing adultery. Love just like they love of the Lord for the children of Israel who took the other gods. Remember, God is a jealous God, and love the raisin cakes of the pagans. So I bought her for myself for 15 shekels of silver and 1.5 homers of barley. And I said, "You shall stay with me many days, and you shall not play the harlot, nor shall you have a man. So too I will be towards you." So he's saying you won't have another man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he won't have another woman, right?
Yeah.
And it's like for the children of Israel shall abide many without the king, the sacrifice. Hey, stop. Pay attention. Without sacrifice or sacred pillar, right? So they're not going to have these false gods, right?
Yeah.
And let's see what the ephod is. EPHOD. I look up these words to figure out what they are. A vestment worn by ancient Hebrew priests. It's also a part of the sacerdotal habit among Jews, being a covering for the back and breast, held together on the shoulders by 2 clasps or brooches of onyx stones set in gold, and fastened by a girdle of the same stuff as the ephod. The ephod for the priest was of plain linen. That of the high priest was richly embroidered in colors. The breastplate of the high priest was worn upon the ephod in front. Hey, young man.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, so a priestly apron or breastplate described in the Bible. Okay, so, and then the other word was teraphim, Teraphim. Images connected with the magical rites used by those Israelites who added corrupt practices to the patriarchal religion. Teraphim were consulted by the Israelites for oracle answers, an idol or other image of reverence and divination among the ancient Hebrews, apparently especially a kind of household god. Interesting. So no other gods or things that they would worship, right? It sounds like that ephod was something that was kind of decadent, right? So you want to read here? Read loud enough that everybody can hear.
Do you want to read?
Sir, God's charge against Israel. You know when try?
What do you want me to read?
Right here next to 4.
Hear the word of the Lord. Your children of Israel, for the God brings a change against the
Inhabitants.
of the land.
There is no truth or mercy or knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying, killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break all restraint with bloodshed upon bloodshed. Therefore the land will mourn, and everyone who dwells there will waste away. With the beast of the field and the birds of the air, even the fish of the sea will be taken away. All coming in. Now let no man contend or rebuke another, for your people are like those who contend with the priest. Therefore you shall stumble in the day. The prophet also shall stumble with you in the night, and I will destroy your mother. My people are destroying for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I also would reject you from being priest for me. Because you have forgotten the law of your God, I will also forget your children. Wow, that's intense. The more they increase, the more they send against me. I will change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people. They set their heart on their iniquity, and it shall be like people, like priests. So I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their deeds. For they shall eat, but not have enough. They shall commit harlotry, but not increase, because they have ceased obeying the Lord. This next part is called the idolatry of Israel. Harlotry, wine, and new wine enslave the heart. Many people ask counsel from their wooden idols, and their staff informs them. For the spirit of harlotry has caused them to stray, and they have played the harlot against their God. They offer sacrifices on the mountaintops and burn incense on the hills. Under the oaks, poplars, and terebinths, I may have to look that up too, because their shade is good. Therefore your daughters commit harlotry, and your bride commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit harlotry, nor your brides when they commit adultery. For the men themselves go apart with harlots, and offer sacrifices with a ritual harlot. Therefore people who do not understand will be trampled. Though you, Israel, play the harlot, let not Judah offend. Do not come up to Gilgal, nor go up to Beth Aven, nor swear an oath, saying, As Lord lives. For Israel is stubborn, like a stubborn calf. Now the Lord will let them forage. Like a lamb in open country, Araphim is joined by idols. Let him alone. Their drink is rebellion. They commit harlotry continually. Her rulers dearly love dishonor. The wind has wrapped her up in its wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. What does that say to you guys? That's a lot. So the idolatry of Israel. So, I mean, they were worshiping what, Justice?
I don't know, gods.
So it says here, harlotry, wine, and new wine enslave the heart. So they were bound by all of the things that they were worshiping that were not God. Right?
So basically false gods.
Mm-hmm. My people ask counsel from their wooden idols. So it's like, oh, hey, look at this beautiful pen. Give me good advice. What does that remind you of today?
Huh?
The false idols. What do people go to for their false idols today?
Video games, alcohol, drugs.
Yeah. What about even like, oh, something's wrong. Maybe I should go on Google or YouTube.
Yeah.
And look for answers there, right?
Yeah.
And that has all the answers. I mean, we are trying to convey truth, right?
Yeah.
Not our truth, but God's truth through this. But but for the spirit of harlotry has caused them to stray. So that means their spirit of, what did we talk about? Harlotry? Do you remember?
No.
So the immorality, I mean specifically in that case for women, but this is talking about the spirit, meaning the unfaithfulness, right?
Yeah.
And seeking other things that give pleasure. And they have played the harlot against their God. So they've been unfaithful, right? They offer sacrifices on the mountaintops and burn incense on the hills. So it's all these things that are just not going to get them where they want to go, but where they think what they think they should be doing, but falsely, right?
Yeah.
So, because their shade is good. Shade is good. That could mean a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, your daughters commit harlotry. So, that is in the same pattern as the parents, right? And your brides as well. So, the people that are supposed to be most faithful, following your example, are also falling into that same pattern. I will not punish your daughters when they commit harlotry, nor your brides when they commit adultery. For the men themselves go apart with harlots and offer sacrifices with a ritual harlot. Therefore, people do not understand, they will be trampled. So when you don't understand, what is that called?
I don't understand.
You don't understand?
I don't know.
So if you don't understand, it's ignorance, right?
Okay.
So out of your own ignorance, you're going to become trampled.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that happens, you become a victim of what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Though you, Israel, play the harlot. So he's talking about the unfaithfulness, right, of the nation.
Yeah.
I see this personally a lot with our nation.
Yeah.
Let not Judah offend. Do not come up to Gilgal, nor to Beth Aven. And I'm going to have to do some research on that, or maybe somebody can enlighten me, but that's probably like going somewhere that you would expect to be invited in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nor swear an oath saying, as the Lord lives. So he's saying, don't even ask anything in my name, right? For Israel is stubborn, just like America right now. Not all of it, but a lot of it, right? We're a stubborn nation. We're falling into false gods, the things that are replacing our God, right?
Yeah.
So we are like the stubborn calf. Now the Lord will let them forage like a lamb in open country. What happens to a lamb in open country?
Is it a good or a bad lamb?
Well, I don't think that the lamb is kind of just like there's a big difference between like a lamb and a lion, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think a lamb or a lion's going to do better in the open country?
Probably a lion.
Right.
Depending what where he's at.
Right. Well, I would say that
Because a sheep could do better in like some other places that don't have a lot of like food.
right. So if there's just grass, but if there's predators, I don't think that the lamb is going to do very well. So it's very vulnerable
Yeah.
in its own actions and its foraging, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is crazy, but their drink is rebellion. They commit harlotry continually, not just once, but continuously. Her rulers dearly love dishonor, and the wind has wrapped her up in its wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. So ultimately, all of these false sacrifices ended up meaning nothing, right?
Yeah.
So if you sacrifice nothing, it's not really a sacrifice. It kind of has to be something that is meaningful. Anyways, guys, that was that was Hosea chapter 3 and 4. We're gonna be trying to get back and do 5 hopefully tomorrow. But thank you guys for joining. Real quick, hold on. So I just want to say, if any of you need prayer or to chat, feel free to DM me down below in the comments. Just shoot me your email and I'll shoot you an email back. But thank you for joining. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. But thank you for hanging out with us today. Have a blessed day. Talk to you later.